On August 1, 2025, President Donald Trump abruptly dismissed Erica McIntyre, the Senate-confirmed Commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, immediately after the release of July's employment report. The report revealed an unexpectedly weak job growth of just 73,000 positions and major downward revisions totaling 258,000 jobs for May and June. Soon after, Trump took to social media declaring, "I think the numbers were wrong," and accused the Bureau of rigging the data to benefit his political opponents, offering no evidence to back up these claims. He framed his decision as a defense of economic truth, alleging that McIntyre manipulated statistics to damage Republicans ahead of elections. He also announced plans to select a replacement, naming Deputy Commissioner William Wiatrowski as interim head, while pledging to appoint someone who, in his words, will provide honest and accurate numbers. The intervention into the nation's most respected statistical agency sparked immediate bipartisan concern about political interference in economic data. The controversy stems from two key findings in the July jobs report: a weaker than expected gain of only 73,000 new jobs, far below the roughly 115,000 forecast, and historic downward revisions for May and June, reducing previous totals by 258,000 jobs. These revisions represent the largest two-month adjustment outside the pandemic era. Trump seized on these figures as evidence of bias, claiming that the BLS had previously inflated job growth numbers in 2024 by more than 800,000 to favor the Harris-Biden administration. McIntyre, a career economist appointed by President Biden and unanimously confirmed by the Senate, defended the Bureau's rigorous, long-standing methods, pointing out that revisions are standard practice based on tax records and survey refinements. Critics stress that such corrections demonstrate the agency's commitment to statistical accuracy rather than political influence. Economists and former officials condemned the firing. Bill Beach, a Republican-appointed former deputy commissioner, warned that undermining the BLS risks damaging confidence in one of the world's most trusted statistical institutions. Michael Mowatz of the Roosevelt Institute called the move dangerous, noting that if official data loses credibility, both private sector decisions and public policy suffer, destabilizing markets. Increases. Manufacturers that depend on cross-border parts reported logistical disruptions and shortages. During the second quarter of 2025, several companies warned on earnings calls that higher costs due to tariffs would slow their investments and hiring plans later in the year. Reflecting the strain, manufacturing added only 4,000 jobs in July, the weakest gain in over a year, signaling early damage from these trade policies. Uncertainty around tariffs, even before they fully take effect, has discouraged companies from expanding or hiring. Economists note this as the option value of waiting, where businesses delay decisions due to unpredictable policies. Studies consistently show that the overall impact of these tariffs on jobs is negative. Goldman Sachs estimates that while tariffs might create 100,000 manufacturing jobs, they will cost around 500,000 jobs in other sectors because of rising costs and reduced consumer spending. Former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers has warned that these escalating tariffs could tip the U.S. into a recession, wiping out up to 2 million jobs and reducing household incomes by as much as $5,000, likening the consequences to the infamous Smoot-Hawley tariffs of the 1930s. The Tax Foundation projects that Trump's tariff package in 2025 will raise federal revenue by 0.53% of GDP, the largest tax increase since 1993, while reducing market incomes by 1.4% in 2026, equivalent to an average tax hike of $1,219 per household. Although the specific tariffs on Canadian goods only came into effect after the July survey week, the April announcement of these policies had already been weighing on hiring and economic activity for months. Analysts widely attribute the weak July job numbers and large downward revisions to the uncertainty caused by tariffs and the rising costs they impose. Reports like those from Colorado Biz highlight that employers cited tariff-related uncertainty as a key factor behind slower hiring, alongside restrictive immigration policies and slower global growth. Since companies plan their workforce decisions months ahead, these announced tariffs likely contributed to July's sluggish results even before the full impact of the duties was felt. The disappointing 73,000 jobs added in July, combined with the 258,000 downward revisions, cannot be attributed solely to Canada-related tariffs, but they are part of a broader slowdown linked to expansive and unpredictable trade policies. Analyses from Goldman Sachs, the Tax Foundation, and warnings from Lawrence Summers suggest that these measures could cost hundreds of thousands to millions of jobs and erode household incomes over the next year, illustrating the real economic and human consequences of these combined battles over data and trade. Thank you for watching. As an independent channel, we don't have corporate backing. We rely on your support to keep going. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. It helps more people find our work. Thank you for being part of our community. Check out the next video on your screen. We picked it just for you.